Movies. What do we do without you? Am I on camera? I guess I am. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and the esteemed colleagues of the visual realm, movies are a way to tell stories and to communicate visual languages. To experience these majestic visual mediums, we have been going to movie theaters for over a century. But recently, we have slowed down on that cultural tradition due to the rising streaming service numbers of Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, and a bunch of nobodies. Now, to investigate this in full detail, let's talk to our friends as to why that's the case.
I prefer going to the theater because there's nothing that's going to ever replace getting 10 people in a theater together and laughing together with 20 other random people. It will never replace it.
Probably I prefer streaming movies at home just because I don't like to go out and sit in the theater. Like, I'd rather just sit home in my own bed and be comfortable.
I like to go to the movie theater because they got those comfy reclining seats, they got good popcorn, got the nice speakers.
I would say streaming service at home just because you can save so much money by doing that. Plus, I'm kind of weird in that I like to watch movies by myself, so I don't like to have any other inputs from any other people. I kind of just like to sit alone and like watch a movie and just completely like be alone with my own thoughts and my own opinions about it. So I'd probably say at home on a streaming service.
I would prefer to go to a theater. I like the history of it, the feel of going into the theater and getting popcorn, which is completely different than any popcorn you can even remotely buy at Meijer or Kroger or anything like that. You know, I mean, it's movie popcorn. It could be stale as hell. It doesn't matter. It tastes good. You know, and then and watching it on that huge screen, just the feeling of being there.
For me, I'd probably prefer going to a theater as well, just because it is a different experience, and I could always go at home and watch whatever's on TV at the time, and going to the theater is a different experience compared to that.
I'd probably say a streaming service just because the prices you get per month are probably going to be less than what you would get at a theater. Like, I can binge a lot of different types of content compared to the theater where you spend, I think, $8, well, at least $8 compared to, what's the cost of Netflix per month now?
$9.99?
I mean, you're paying
It's up there, it's like
$11.99, but still you're only paying a few dollars more, but you get so much more in exchange.
Hulu,
Why is that?
because they have a lot of great shows on there that I like to watch.
Netflix, definitely Netflix, but I also have Hulu, and I also have HBO Now, because I need all of them.
Well, we use Netflix. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I mean, I don't mind it. Sorry.
Netflix. But then Hulu again, I actually like Hulu more just because if I wanted to watch an episode that usually streams on live TV, I could watch it the next day rather than waiting a week or so later.
I use Netflix and Amazon Prime. I actually prefer Amazon Prime. It comes at a discounted rate for students, and it has less errors in buffering than Netflix.
From last week to 5 weeks from now, it will be HBO because Game of Thrones is on there. If you didn't ask me when Game of Thrones is on, it would probably be Netflix.
I always go to watch all my movies at Southgate MJR. They're pretty nice. The prices are going up, but I've never really had too many problems there.
It doesn't exist anymore, but it was called the Quo Vadis in Westland.
Why is that?
Because it was a theater, I believe it was built in the 50s, and it had like the old architecture, and it had the stone with the gold flux in it. You know, that was my childhood theater.
Often I go to Imagine Canton. Yeah, in Canton. Otherwise, I'll go to Westland Grand Cinema.
Probably the AMC at Fairlane, just because, hear me out on this, it's close by mostly, and also usually for matinee shows there's very few people there, so every once in a while you get a theater to yourself, so that's always fun.
I usually go to a theater called Holland 7. It's on the other side of the state where I'm from. Oh, they have recliner seats that I really enjoy.
Maybe have some pillows in there and some blankets.
Improve your seats, because even though the seats at Imagine Canton are great, they still rip really easily. And some of them, you know, have a nasty cut in it, or they're just a little gross. And then other theaters, they're just not great seats. Also improve their prices.
Ooh, okay, that's a shot right at that.
Intermission, I think, would be really cool, because for the people who have small bladders like me, like, we wouldn't have to worry about missing anything.
Love to see like a full-blown film in like virtual reality. I think that would be amazing.
I'll go with less previews, just because I go for the movie, not for the previews.
I'd probably say just lower costs on the concessions, because that's always annoying to have to pay $10-15 for a ticket, then pay $20 for a meal there.
Probably, this is a bit of a controversial opinion, but I don't like recliners in theaters because I fall asleep on them constantly. It's honestly like a big reason why I choose Fairlane too, because they don't have them. They're one of the few theaters in here that don't have them. Unpopular opinion, but I don't like them.
Well, that's all, folks. I hope you viewed and listened to the different perspectives of consumer viewing habits and the ways to access different ways of viewing content.